Hello, welcome to Alora Essentials, and in this tutorial we are going to talk about the interface of the application. So I'm going to go into any of the projects that I have at the moment, and I'm going to talk about each part of the software. I'm sure in the previous videos you've seen quite a lot of um, things on the interface. As I said in one of the previous videos, don't be intimidated by what you see. It's very simple to get used to it, and I'm going to go over it from left to the right so that we get acquainted with the interface. Don't worry about what each of these things will do, because we are going to go through this later. And as you get to use the software, you're going to come to know all what all these icons and these tools are for. So let's start with the main menu at the top here. So you have your name on the right, and on the left we have file, we have edit, we have share, we have website, responsive, and help. So right now I'm just going to start with file. So file will take you to projects, take you to the asset store, will take you to log out if you want to log out. Now we have edit, we have fixed layout errors. There are sometimes when you are building your website that you might have some errors in the layout. By clicking on fixed layout errors, it's going to fix them automatically, and as you would come to know of it, the black screen of death can actually be prevented from happening. Now, in case you want to export a website, you can just do that by clicking on export websites. In case you want to export an asset, you can do it by just clicking on export asset. There will be times where you would definitely need to back up your website, where we create a version. You got into the point where you're done with responsiveness, and someone can just come over and mess the whole thing up, or you yourself can make mistakes and mess everything up. So I advise that as time goes on, you are going to have to create a website version so that you can restore the website anytime you make a huge mistake and you don't feel like correcting it. You can just restore the website. Now, Add Cloud Hub will allow you to back up all your websites and your assets online to our cloud hosting, so that, let's say you lose your machine today, what's going to happen with all the websites that you are building? Hundreds of people have websites on your machine. That could be a problem. So adding the Cloud Hub will allow you to have backups to our cloud storage, so that you don't have to ever lose your website. Now let's go to share. Share is for, as you know, to share your website with someone or transfer the website. Let's say I'm building this website and I'm done building, and the person who is going to manage the website, or the person who the website is for, has Alora and wants their file. You could just transfer this whole website to them and they will be able to load it in the Alora. Mind you, any website you create is tailored to your account. Nobody else can edit it, or they will face so many issues. So it's best that you actually transfer the website to them. But basically, when you go here, you can just publish your website, publish all blog posts, pages, meter, and all these things, or generate sitemap and save page layout, as you're going to find out how to do that in a next video. And we go to responsiveness. That's where you're going to make your website responsive. So for example, you go to this view, which is probably big laptops. Let's go to the tablet view, or so you can check if your website is basically beautiful across all screens and makes it easier to build your website. You're going to need a responsive tab a lot. Most of our section styles and themes online are already responsive, so maybe you'd have to do some tweaks. And by the time you finish this course, you would have built your own 4-page portfolio website, so it wouldn't be a problem. I'm sure you're going to get it done easily. Now let's get to the next level of our interface. Here we have our notes, right? Now we are going to go into notes more in the next video. We are going to talk about notes more, and then you know what they are, but you know that you have your notes over here. We are going to talk about it. On this side, you can just reduce your screen or make it as big as you want, so that you could actually see the whole design properly. Something like zoom in and then get the designs done. Then let's go to on this side we have our units. So we have percentage, we have pixels, we have seconds, we have view height, view width. And as a matter of fact, we are going to go through this later, so I'm not really going to talk about it much. But anytime you hover a mouse over any of these icons, it gives you what they are. I'm not going to talk about this much because we are going to be using it a lot as we are working on our website, so we are going to get used to it. Now on the left side we have our tool panel. In our tool panel we have the add tool, we have the delete tool, we have the duplicate tool, we have the save element, we have lock elements so that they don't have to move around when you're working, we have save action, and we have upload your website, reload your design mode as I did earlier, and then reload the entire design. Now on this side we have the creation tools where you can add a section, you can add a block, you can add an image, a shape, a button, text, audio, video, form element, and all that. We are going to take them one after the other when we get to introduction to Alora web editor. Now one of the places you are going to be using a lot more is on the right side where we call the settings panel. Now the first panel is what we call the applied notes. Applied notes are sort of notes that have already been applied to elements. So anytime you click on any element, you can see the notes that have been applied to that particular element on the right. Then you can edit them and do whatever it is that you want to do to it. Now we have the website settings. On the website panel we have the website hierarchy, and we are going to, don't let this intimidate you, and we have the pages that we have already created in this website. And so we are going to know more about this as we keep working on this website. Now we have our page hierarchy. We have all the things on our website here. We have everything that is included in each section here. You can select any of them to select it on the screen so that you know it. It's a way of going into the things that are inside this particular website or page that you have loaded. Now, so this panel is for changing the position of elements, you see, upward and downward. Then we have your current assets, which are your images, your videos, and all that you can use for your website when you upload it in there. And then we have your asset library. We are going to be using this a whole lot, and I have quite a lot of them because, as I said earlier in an earlier video, I've been using the system for a while, so you get to build ones that you can use later. Now we have node options, we'll talk about that later. We have page layouts where you can have pages, you can add page layouts, right? And then you can build your website. So the concept of themes in Alora is different from other web builders where you have a whole website built. We actually give you a section style that is meant for something because we want your creative juices to flow and it's easy to use. So for example, when you go to the section styles, we have this called the starter pack, which we give you when you start, full of different elements that you can use. So you can combine this to build wonderful websites, and I'm going to show you just how to do that. Now let's go to our website actions. We have the default actions which we have not loaded, but we have other actions that we can install, we can create ourselves for us to use. So for example, you've done this wonderful navigation, you want to use it on other pages, you can just save it and then use it. And there are results of actions over here, and then we are going to deal with actions a little bit later on. And we also have a panel for saving actions. Now that is just the interface. The interface is not difficult to understand. As you can see, we are going to get used to it in the next video. So in our next video, what we are going to talk about more is an introduction into building websites with Alora, and then we move on to build our own 4-page portfolio website. Thank you for watching.